Hello, my lovelies. So we're going to do some love readings. I will timestamp it in the comments. So we're going to start with singles. We're going to do couples, couples in separation, twin flames, or soulmates. Check the comments for which section you would like to watch, or stick around and watch the whole video. All right, let's see. What is going on for our single Pringles? All right, singles. What's happening this time around? Whenever you find this video, let's do that. We'll be timeless. All right, whenever they happen to find this message, Spirit, what do singles need to know? What do they need to know? Ooh, okay. Justice will be served in your situation. I feel like you're about to welcome in something that's equal give and take. Exactly, and you're gonna have something to choose from. We have the Knight of Cups, and we have, oh, I just had something fall off the wall. That was pretty crazy. All right, so I feel like this is going to be kind of a shock to you. Maybe surprising that you have multiple offers coming in to choose from. Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands. One is not really committal. The Knight of Wands is usually seen as the playboy in tarot. He's somebody that's not really going to settle down. He's somebody that just kind of wants to play the field. The Knight of Cups, on the other hand, is seen as the knight in shining armor. He's somebody that wants a legitimate connection. So you will have to make a decision. You will have to choose. What do we need to see for singles? What's going on? Four of Pentacles. I feel like you've got to shift your mentality for you to pick correctly, is what Spirit's telling me. Meaning that basically if you can kind of shift your perspective and see that you do have options and not just settle, or feel like nobody really wants to be with you, that all of a sudden these offers start to come in, right? But we might be healing from a broken heart, grief, loss, mourning, things like that. There could definitely be some competition, right? Somebody wants to come in and make an offer to steal your heart, but there's some sort of illusion that you need to see the truth for what it is. So don't get stuck in fantasy land. It's really important that you actually have proof or facts of what's the true feelings here, because somebody I feel like is just playing games. So we may need to cut that person out, right? So you have two fives in the same row, which is completion. It's a 10, right? So we're completing things that leave us confused. We're completing things that maybe people are playing mind games. They're gaslighting us. We don't want that in our life going forward. So I feel like you're going to be severing ties with somebody. I do feel like this situation makes you feel a little bit stuck, a little bit trapped, and you really do need some boundaries. You also need to be careful of the company that you keep. The Seven of Swords is usually seen as manipulation, thieves, liars, cheaters. So we don't want any of that energy. So I feel like you're about to cut some things off and go towards something that's much better. And you do need to walk away from something or a someone that really isn't a good fit for you, right? Because something is toxic. It could also be things like temptation. Maybe there's love triangles or a third party. Maybe somebody has been cheating behind the scenes. All of those things are going to come to the surface and be revealed for you to make a decision, right? Things are being illuminated. But the devil would also tell us that there's things like codependency or addictions, violence, greed, and those are things that we want to set ourselves free from. So bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles followed by the Queen of Wands. I do feel like a feminine energy is going to come into some money, and I feel like she's worked extremely hard to actually get on her feet, especially financially. You may be actually kind of stepping back out into the spotlight, so to speak, or for some reason you're going to have a lot of eyes on you. So I feel like they always reference Stella got her groove back with that card for me. So I feel like maybe you've been in a relationship that made you change in a negative way. I feel like you're setting yourself free from that and somebody better is coming in. I also feel like this is an indication that somebody is transforming and emerging, stepping into the spotlight. The Queen of Wands likes the attention, so use it to your advantage for the good. And the Nine of Pentacles would tell us that we have abundance coming in, followed by the Nine of Swords. There's lots of anxiety here, a lot of worry. The question is why? Why are you so worried about love? Probably because you've been burned in the past. So we want to make sure that we're making good choices, right? Judgment tells us that yes, things are changing, that Spirit sees what's going on, and they're going to reset the balance. get creative. I feel like there's inspiration coming in, as well as creativity and some stability, and I feel like you could definitely use that. So know that you are completing a difficult cycle, singles, and that you might be traveling, moving, or relocating, maybe traveling the world. The world tells us that we are facing a completion. Your first card was Justice. I feel like Spirit's about to give you a karmic reset, remove all of the riffraff out of your love life, and enter in a new stable partner. All right, couples, what's happening for you guys? Couples, what do they need to see? What do they need to know whenever they find this message? Ooh, Queen of Pentacles followed by the Chariot. You got money coming in and it's going to happen quickly. You could also be welcoming in a partner that is financially very stable. Male or female, doesn't matter in tarot. It's simply energy. Apply it however it fits for you. The Chariot is Cancer energy. I do feel like there is some sort of forward progress where maybe things have been really slow in your work sector that could be changing. I do feel like you're about to be more stable. I feel like you could also be welcoming in a partner who's maybe financially stable, wanting to offer you some stability, and it might take you by surprise. Interesting. So I do think that you may have a love offer that kind of sneaks up on you. Spirit says sneak attack. You won't see it coming. There's some changes, right? Something's hidden. It's going to be illuminated. So the moon reveals things, right? And so there's something that's hidden. I feel like it's somebody's feelings, or that they're going to take action towards you. Yep, they're going to take action. Knight of Cups. So the Knight in Shining Armor wants to come in quickly and offer you their feelings, their cup of love. They might be juggling something. Maybe it's work and responsibilities. I do feel like one of you is going to have to let something go to create balance, but there's some sort of conflict here. So arguments could be that there's competition or rivalry, or this person thinks that there is. So I do feel like you're going towards a period of celebration, right? Some positive changes coming in, celebratory news. Yeah, big time. Weddings could definitely be in the cards, quite literally. 10 of Cups. I do feel like unions could be happening for you as well. So maybe a surprise engagement. But we've got to overcome not only heartbreak and pain from the past, right? We've got to heal in order to go forward. We also need to work well with others. So you've waited a long time. There's been a lot of maybe delays, a lot of, they're giving me so many words all at once right now. I'm a little jumbled. So normally I would say the Three of Wands is like your ships are coming in, the delays are being removed. There could have been a lot of nuisance energy around is what they're giving me. And they're saying that all of those things are being taken out of the way to put you in alignment with this new energy that's coming in. And I do feel like it's somebody new. Now, you might know this person, but I don't think you've ever dated this person. And I feel like they want things to kind of move forward rather quickly because the Chariot's out here. So I feel like this person's going to come forward expressing their feelings. I do think it will shock you. They also want to solidify things rather quickly. So if you're unsure, I would tell you that don't go forward. You need to wait a little bit. But I also feel like you've been waiting a long time for maybe your person to come in, and I do feel like that changes rather quickly. So even though it takes you by surprise, just make sure that you are ready for a commitment, because this person absolutely wants one. I feel like you're going to have to weigh the decision carefully. That might create a little bit of internal or external conflict for you. However, it does look like it leads to a celebration. You could potentially meet this person at somebody's wedding, like reception or something, at a party, some sort of positive news that we're celebrating. And I feel like this also will be a healing environment for you. And you've waited long enough. So expect some positive changes where it comes to love. All right, couples in separation, no matter why they are separated from the person on their mind, what is going on for them? Ooh, 9 of Swords. Lots of worry around this situation. I feel like worry, anxiety, sleepless nights, nightmares, wondering if things will ever change. I feel like somebody is an overthinker on a regular basis. I feel like maybe they don't show a lot of emotions, but they're always internally kind of the gears are turning, right? So King of Swords energy. Someone might come off as very emotionless, all right? And so maybe they have difficulty expressing how they actually feel, right? Because because they're internalizing all of these emotions. So instead of expressing those, they tend to kind of maybe shut down and internalize instead. So if you're in a partnership like that, it can be incredibly challenging to kind of almost feels like you're pulling teeth trying to get a conversation off the ground. So you may have to evaluate whether that's worth your time or not. There is some sort of confusion as well. There could have been an argument. Maybe that's why you're in separation. Maybe you guys needed a chance to cool off and kind of regroup before things are resolved, if they're able to be. I do feel like in the separation, you could be meeting somebody new with the King of Cups. So we go from somebody who really cannot show their emotions in a positive way with the King of Swords, very cold, very kind of stoic, maybe a little prone to anger. Maybe that's one that they're comfortable with, but they're not comfortable with like the mushy gushy, the emotional side. And then we have the King of Cups, who he thrives in showing emotions. He's a little bit more balanced. He's somebody who would have zero issues with like affection and expressing how he feels because he wears his heart on his sleeve. So they're very different energies. I feel like you are lacking the emotional component with the King of Swords, and I feel like the King of Cups would give you all of those things easily where you wouldn't have to feel like you're pulling teeth. The King of Cups is who I refer to as the ideal father figure. He's nurturing, loyal, trustworthy, he's generous, he's affectionate, he makes a fantastic partner as well as a fantastic father figure. So that may be something that you have to evaluate. We also have the Death card. So there's something changing and transforming, right? Something may come to an end if you're in separation. And I do feel like there could be a new energy that's coming in for you in its place. So you may have to decide if that's who or what you actually want. There are some improvements coming in your finances as well. So we may be healing from something, injury, illness, surgery, as well as financial struggles. But the Five of Pentacles is also that we're closing the door on a chapter in our life that we don't want, and we are leaving something or someone out in the cold, and they are starting to realize that and notice your absence. I do feel like one of these people has a genuine crush on you, okay? Page of Cups energy. So this person may come forward making an offer. Pages bring news. So there's definitely some news coming in of somebody expressing how they feel. I don't think that it's the King of Swords. I do think that it's the King of Cups. And I do think this person has evolved from a page to a king. We also have the Page of Pentacles. So again, more news coming in, but this is about practical matters. So things like finances. What are your goals going forward? Do you have goals for a relationship? Do you want to be married? Do you want to be in a long-term commitment? Or do you choose to be single? Whatever these goals happen to be, get solid on what those are. And then what do you need to do to achieve those goals? Because we have to work for what we receive. You also have the Knight of Cups. So I do feel like somebody is coming through with a legitimate love offer, right? We have the Page, the Knight, the King. So there's evolution going on here in your love life. This person behind the scenes is working on themselves to evolve. They're coming into who they are truly to be. And so they're able to give you a legitimate offer, something that's solid and stable. And yes, it is a new person that's coming in. Ace of Cups energy, very emotionally fulfilling. Again, I feel like you couples that are in separation are in a very unfulfilling connection, whether you're separated or whether you're still with that person. And I feel like somebody's going to come in and Spirit's telling me rock your world in the best way possible. They're going to show you that real love is out there. They're going to be able to give you the things that the other person was incapable or didn't give you. All right, so we also have the Knight of Swords. So somebody's going to take action, right? They're rushing in quickly. They're coming to offer you their cup of love. And then we have to decide what heavy baggage are we going to leave behind, the Ten of Wands. So we want to let go of the things that are holding us back. We want to let go of the baggage. We want to let go of collateral damage because Spirit is trying to show you that there are better opportunities out there if you will stop worrying so much, stay positive, and be open to receive them. So who will you choose? All right, Twin Flames. What's going on for the Twin Flame Collective? No matter where they are on their journey when they find this message, what's happening for the Twin Flames? Please, Spirit. Twin flames, divine masculine, divine feminine. What is the energy around the twin flame collective? Ooh, some delays are being removed. That's interesting. The Hierophant. Okay. I've been saying it for a while now. Twin flames that are in separation are going to start to come into union between the years 2024 and 2026 is when the bulk of the collective that I resonate with will start to come into alignment and come into union. Now, all twin flames are on a different trajectory for their own mission work and their own spiritual path. And yes, they can choose not to be with that person. So that won't apply for every single one that sees this. However, the twin flames that I resonate with are the ones that are slowly starting to come out of the shadows and come into union. So we are almost to the last part of 2025, and then we have 2026. So I feel like the tail end of this year leading into next year, we're going to start to see a ton of unions. So there's been a lot of delays. And the delays are necessary, right? We know that because you have to do a lot of shadow work, a lot of healing before you really are who you're supposed to be. When you're doing the work, it internally causes the other person to do the work, meaning that you both start to vibrationally shift into alignment because you are the other half of that person. You guys are mirrored energy. You are twin souls. And so when one person's doing the work, it affects the other person and you both start to heal. So I love that. We have the Hierophant. So unions are definitely there. It's a card of spiritual growth and ascension as well, but it's slow, stubborn Taurus energy. So we have a lot of lessons to learn on this thing we call life, on our journey. And I feel like you are slowly but surely making progress, going from one level to the next. We are going to start enjoying the fruits of our labor, right? We've been working so damn hard for years trying to elevate, and that is starting to happen. So you're going to start to see some of that. Some of that could be in your finances as well. The Magician tells us that we are the creator of our destiny, right? We're the author. We hold the pen to that next chapter. It is not already written. So I feel like you have a lot of manifestations that might be coming in. I feel like you might be alchemizing certain elements in your life, and that is creating some harmony, allowing for things to be balanced, creating some justice. So Spirit is trying to reset things to where they're more fair, equal, and just. I do feel like the twin flames are here to help us to kind of reset the planet in the 5D to be able to elevate. And so the twin flames are here to help with the collective shift and the frequency of the planet, which is epically changing all of the time. And so the twin flames have double mission work here. So we're not only doing things in our own world that affect just us and those around us, but we're also energetically shifting things that collectively vibrate out to the rest of the planet. And my throat chakra is being affected right now. I feel like part of it is they have to speak about what they've gone through, right? So sharing their testimony, sharing their story, sharing their path to union, all of those things we're going to start to see more and more of as we continue forward. But there is a lot of things that we also need to leave behind. So the Nine of Swords is a very painful card, right? Nightmares and anxiety, right? The thoughts plaguing us. So somebody could have suffered from mental health issues. There could have been a lot of like PTSD and depression and anxiety, all of those things, right, that plague our mind. So we've got to learn to detox our mind from all of the negativity, and we've got to focus on the good. So don't let negative thoughts ruin things that are good. I do think that somebody has come in and kind of out of your life. Very in, very out. That's funny. Spirit's giving me the old song, the Hokey Pokey. You put one foot in, you put one foot out, you put one foot in, and you shake it all about. I do feel like this person is very in and out, right? And that's just not going to work going forward. So unless this person returns healed, they're a no, because they need to match your energy. So if they're not a vibrational match, it's a fuck no, period, until they heal. So are you ready to let go of the past? Because the future is going to be really bright if you can. I feel like you could also have, past people resurfacing, right? And kind of stirring the pot, right? Shaking things up for you. So know that temptations will resurface. Spirit wants to know, have you closed that chapter for good? Are you ready to go to the next level? and they're going to tempt you. They're going to put things in front of you to try and make you go backwards. Don't fall for it. Continue on your path forward. You are going to experience a lot of change, okay? That's part of the process here. A tower moment doesn't have to be bad, but it's about to wreck your world in the best way possible. Does it feel like that when it's happening? Usually not. Usually it feels like you have imploded, like the entire world around you is falling the fuck apart, and it is bullshit when it happens, but it's meant for you to rebuild, restructure, and renew going forward in a new direction. So you will have decisions to make about either a past person or a new person coming in. I feel like Spirit's going to ask you point blank. You can choose to stay stuck, or you can choose to break away and go forward. Remove the blinders and pick which direction you choose, because there's a world of opportunities that you are elevating towards. Again, you're here to create what? The new earth, the new world. That is the purpose of Twin Flames at this time. So the world tells us we're completing old cycles. Something is coming to a finality. Something's coming to a close. We're turning over a new leaf. All of these challenges that we're facing, we are triumphing over the difficulties. Travel, movement, relocation. Some of you are going to travel the world. Some of you are going to help improve the world. They're giving me the word philanthropy, so some of you might actually do humanitarian work. I feel like the bulk of you will help with that in some regard. And the world tells us that we are finally going to make some forward progress, turning over a new leaf. So bravery is required, okay? Nights bring news. So there's news of this that's coming in. News of Twin Flames, news of union, news of 5D things taking place, and it all takes courage. So know that Spirit is trying to remove some delays so that you can come into union with your true person should you want to. You are going to have financial success wherever you happen to be. You're manifesting these things. We are going to create a fair and just system. We're going to let go of all the negativity, working on our mental health. We're also going to say no to things that are temptations and that are very flighty energy. The past may rear its ugly head. We're making changes because we can see through all of the drama now. We've learned our lessons. So we're choosing a path of success, freedom, love, balance, and completing difficult cycles. So find your courage. It will be needed. All right, last but not least, what's going on for the soulmates in the collective whenever they happen to find the video? What is happening for soulmates in my collective? What's going on? Ooh. So I feel like you could be coming into some money, pay raise, promotion, things like that coming in, enough to be charitable to others. This could come through courts, contracts, legal issues, could come through some form of like lottery win, settlement, things like that. But there is some sort of like legal issue here. So, the lottery at the time that I'm filming this is quite large, so that could also be something that maybe you come into some money somehow. But we do have some forward progress there, so I love that. I do feel like you're going to be generous with what you receive, and you should, because Spirit's going to give you more than enough. Judgment. So, right, there could be some sort of divine intervention, karma being dealt, things like that, courts, contracts, legal issues. It does look like it's the only decision that can be reached under the current circumstances. So whatever that happens to be, it does look like it goes in your favor. We love that. Ooh, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So a lot of positive change in your finances for the soulmates out there. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is good luck finding you, right? That it's fated. You're destined to step into this good luck. It is also financial blessings. So with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like if you've been putting in the work somewhere, that's about to pay off for you in a really big way. So let's say that you've been struggling financially, Spirit sees all that, but you show up every day, you put in the hard work, and it's like, okay, give them a little sprinkle of something to keep them going. And then all of a sudden it's like the blockages get removed and Spirit's like, you've done the work, so here's your reward. You're also going to be working on healing from heartbreak, pain, grief, sadness, and loss, right? So no more of that. We're going to go forward in a positive way. There is somebody that may come in and try and offer you some love. They do have genuine feelings and emotions. They want to offer you their cup. Pages bring news, so someone might be revealing their feelings. The question is, are you ready? Because you might be holding yourself back from love. Maybe you're worried about temptation or cycles repeating themselves. I also feel like it's time to break cycles. So if you notice that there's similar patterns that are red flags, it may be toxic, so say no. I feel like you're going to be leaving somebody out in the cold because you're headed towards recovery, financially especially, but I do feel like you are making some better choices and you are healing, so that's important. There's some new opportunities coming in that lead to abundance. Could be a job change for some of you. You may also be focused on your goals at this time, and that also pays off. There could be some competition in what you do, whether it's for work, whether it's for love. Somebody might view that there's some competition. Could be some internal or external conflicts as well, so try and work on resolving those. Remember that these things are going to change rather quickly. So the Chariot brings speed and forward progress, travel, movement, relocation, or purchasing a vehicle. I do feel like if you've been struggling and you need a new car, that the money will be available for that to come forward. Just know that these things are going to change at a pretty rapid pace once you decide to lock in and solidify what it is that you want. But the changes are for the better. Have a wonderful week.